The afternoon sun burned across the training yard, turning the concrete into a shimmering haze. Fresh recruits scattered around the area, pretending to study their manuals but really eyeing each other, sizing up who looked weakest. It didn't take long for their focus to settle on her, the quiet woman in a wheelchair rolling herself toward the barracks, a small service dog trotting loyally beside her, its vest marked medical assistance, do not distract. She didn't meet anyone's eyes. She never did. She simply moved with quiet determination, pushing the wheels with practiced strength. Her dog, a sandy brown Belgian Malinois named Rex, stayed tight at her side, alert but gentle. A group of 3 recruits stood near the entrance, Davis, Cross, and Hill. They'd already earned a reputation for trouble. Their whispers turned into smirks the moment they saw her approaching. "Look who's rolling in," Davis muttered. "She's supposed to be one of us." Cross chuckled. "How's she gonna pass drills? Run us into battle with her wheels squeaking?" The others laughed. She ignored them, but Rex didn't. His ears twitched, reading the tension perfectly. When she tried to pass, Hill stepped forward, blocking the doorway with exaggerated politeness. "Ma'am," he said mockingly, "you sure you're in the right place? Physical training is that way." He pointed toward a distant field where recruits were sprinting laps. She didn't answer. She simply tried to maneuver around him. Hill pushed his boot out, catching her wheel and stopping her short. Rex growled, "Low, warning." "Ah, look at that," Cross sneered. "The little dog thinks he's tough." Before she could react, Hill kicked out, not hard enough to injure, but hard enough to shove Rex aside and make the dog yelp in shock. Her head snapped up. Her voice, normally soft, turned like ice. "Don't touch my dog." Davis laughed. "Or what? Gonna chase us down?" Rex positioned himself between them and her chair, despite the pain, tail stiff, muscles locked. The recruits only became bolder. "Maybe they'll let us switch her out for someone useful," Cross muttered loudly. "We're supposed to be a military unit, not a hospital nursery." She clenched her jaw. Her hands tightened on the wheels, but she still didn't retaliate. She simply breathed, slow, controlled, like someone trained to stay calm under fire. Then a shadow moved across the ground. A figure approached from behind the group, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a black t-shirt with a trident logo. He walked with the easy confidence of someone who didn't need to prove anything. None of the recruits noticed him until his voice cut through the air like steel. "That dog has more discipline than any of you." The recruits froze. She turned slightly. Recognition flashed in her eyes, but not fear. "Respect." Davis swallowed. "Sir, you were just harassing a soldier under my protection," the man said coldly. Only then did they recognize him. Chief Petty Officer Marcus Hale. Navy SEAL, combat legend. His eyes dropped to Rex. "You kicked a service dog?" he asked, voice dangerously calm. Hill opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Hale stepped closer, towering over them. "Good," he said, "because now I get to teach you exactly what happens when cowards pick on someone they think is weak." The recruits, faces drained of color. And the real lesson was about to begin. Recruits bullied a female soldier in wheelchair and kicked her dog, until a Navy SEAL stepped in. Silence fell over the training yard as Chief Petty Officer Marcus Hale stepped forward. The recruits stiffened instinctively. His reputation traveled faster than his footsteps. Hale wasn't just a SEAL, he was the SEAL, a man whose combat footage was still used in classified briefings. No one expected him here, much less defending the soldier they had mocked seconds earlier. He crouched beside Rex first, his face softening. "Easy, boy," he whispered, running a hand along the dog's ribcage. Rex's tail gave a hesitant thump. Hale's eyes flicked to the woman in the wheelchair. "You okay, Lieutenant?" She nodded. "I'm fine, Chief." "Lieutenant." Davis choked. The recruits, blood ran cold. Hale stood slowly, turning his attention back to the trio. "You three, front and center." They stumbled into formation, trying to mask their panic. Cross attempted a nervous smile. "Sir, we didn't know she was." "That's the problem," Hale snapped. "You don't need to know someone's rank to treat them with basic human decency." His voice wasn't loud. It didn't have to be. Every word landed like a hammer. He stepped behind them, face forward. They obeyed instantly. "Let me tell you who you just tried to intimidate." Hale spoke evenly, almost conversationally. "Lieutenant Arya Locke, Special Operations Intelligence, served in 2 conflict zones before any of you learned to fold a uniform." Hill's throat bobbed. "She was injured in the line of duty," Hale continued, because she shielded 2 medics from a blast. Saved their lives. Lost the full use of her legs. He walked around, coming to stand in front of them again. And you think mocking her makes you look strong? None of them dared answer. Hale gestured to Rex. That dog is part of her team. You kicked a member of the United States military. You assaulted a trained service animal. Cross started trembling. Sir, we didn't know. Hale cut him off. You didn't want to know. For a moment, he simply studied them. Then he straightened, his expression turning colder. Drop your gear. They obeyed instantly, packs hitting the ground with heavy thuds. Hale pointed at the far training hill, a brutal, steep incline used only for the toughest conditioning drills. You're going to sprint to the top and back. 10 times. Their faces collapsed. But sir. 11. Hale responded without hesitation. Want to try for 12. They shut up fast. Move, he barked. They took off running, stumbling, gasping, already regretting every word they had said. Hale watched, arms crossed, until they were nothing but silhouettes against the hill. Then he turned back to Arya. You didn't have to stay quiet, you know. She gave a small smile. I knew you were coming. Hale shook his head. I'm not always going to be around, Lieutenant. No, she said softly, but Rex is. The dog pressed against her leg, tail wagging. Hale's expression softened. You handled it well. Years of practice, she replied. He nodded toward the recruits, who were now dragging their bodies back down the hill. And they're about to get some. Arya watched them struggle, then glanced at Hale. Think they'll learn. Oh, Hale smirked, they'll learn. And by sunset, the whole base would know exactly why no one, ever, messed with Lieutenant Arya Locke or her dog.